biggest bunch of misfits I ever set eyes on.
Good morning, Misfits. You are tuning into another episode of the Misfit Podcast. Every Tuesday during the Open, we will join you for a recap podcast. So today is the 25.1 recap podcast. Shout out to all of the Misfits, Misfit affiliate athletes, Misfit competitors, all the people that threw down on this workout. She was a bit of a doozy. I think everyone would agree. They had their own version of getting into a fight with 25.1. Before we get started, we'll do a little bit of housekeeping. Then we're going to do the leaderboards, give away some stuff. Should be a fun episode. So, housekeeping, semifinals prep for anybody doing the in-affiliate semifinals. And there's some things to talk about related to that because I don't know if they ended up hitting their minimum. But I believe it's 1,200 athletes is the minimum, and I'm not sure that that's the top 1%. So you might have a little bit of a better shot than you thought. I should have had that information in front of me before I started talking about it. But what's more important here is that if you are peaking, if your Super Bowl is in affiliate semifinals, your semifinals prep starts 6 days from today. If you are a new Misfit or you aren't following the programming right now, you can buy that as a standalone program in our storefront on Fitter. So you can purchase that as a standalone program, choose your start date, and then it just, you're kind of off to the races there. I will say, if you are a new Misfit, make sure you are in the Discord, discord.gg/Misfit Athletics. Yes, that link actually does work again for anybody that's been trying to get into the Discord. Fixed that yesterday. So make sure that you're there so that you can ask questions. And then if you're already subscribing and you want to follow that programming, shoot me an email, coach@misfitathletics.com, and I will send you a 100% off discount code, and you can add that to your program. Off-season block 1 starts on March 24th, Monday, March 24th. We'll have kind of that final sort of week of the Open, but not really. Monday, March 17th is kind of that last day that you can do things. We're not going to start you on a new program that week. And that's when we get into the off-season stuff where you can do the strength bias, conditioning bias, etc. And then our very first, we will explain in the podcast, our very first named Misfit affiliate phase, Ulysses, starts on March 24th as well. And you get a 2-week free trial in StreamFit, SugarWOD, Push Press, just by going to teammisfit.com, clicking sign up now. You'll see the links to click all that stuff. All right, let's do leaderboards. So the way that this works, you need to go to games.crossfit.com, go to your competition dashboard, and then there's a spot that says custom leaderboards. If you type in Misfit Athlete, that's going to add you to our competition leaderboard. And then if you type in Misfit Affiliate, I just think it'd be cool to have a leaderboard of all the people that follow the program. There's actually, in the Misfit Athlete, there's a ton of Misfit affiliate athletes, which is really cool, kind of sprinkled in there. Some of the scores from, I won't name names, but some of the scores from people who come in here and take class for 60 minutes a day are higher than some people who, do this as kind of a professional thing or have a lot of eggs in that basket, which I think is just really fucking awesome. So make sure you go in and add those. And basically what we do is we read the top 10, give some shout outs, give away some free shit. All right, let's do it. Hunter, I'm going to need you to pull up a random number generator from 1 to 10. Can you handle that for me? I should have made Seb do it. Honestly, you're the talent here. Seb's supposed to be doing the producing, but all right. So ladies first, Elena Pomarisi, 303 reps, breaking the 300 rep mark. Gotta love that out of CrossFit Raid. And then we go Lindsay Hoffman, Paige Semenza, Meredith Reyes, Roxy George, Blair Cheney, Kelly Clark, Peyton Forsyth, Emma Hagstrom, Adrian Winges. I think I got it right this year. I think I got that name right this year. Ooh, got a little action going on my camera. And then I had to give a shout out, 1 rep away, Misfit Gym Portland, Rachel Rogers. Again, that's just fucking cool. Got a competition dashboard of a bunch of people who throw down, and she came in at 262 reps. Hunter, please give me, Hunter or Seb, someone give me a number between 1 and 10. 7. Do it again. That is a sponsored athlete who gets the stuff for
Two.
free. Lindsay Hoffman, come on down. OG Misfit, been following for a long time. Lindsay, please email me, coach@misfitathletics.com. We have your information from other orders and whatnot, but if you have any updated sizes or address, please put those in the email and we will get some gear out to you. Over to the men's side, I searched far and wide for a way to kick Hunter Wood off of this leaderboard, and I couldn't. All right. Coming in first place, Brandon True, breaking the 300 rep mark. Brandon's a remote client. Brandon would like you to give him a very heavy barbell for him to shine, and we've done a lot of fucking work this off season. We had a pretty good score on the books, and then we went into movement efficiency and jumped that up 20 reps or so, something along those lines. So big shout out there. And on we go. Stephen Milanese, Taylor Sanders, Austin Spencer from the top rope with 282 reps. Austin does not follow competitive programming. Austin is in the Fire Academy. Austin loves burpees. Paulo Frita, Chris Colvin, Salvador Reyes, Kyle Pinkham of Misfit Athletics fame, Kyle Moline, and then last but not least, the sickly flu boy, Hunter Wood, coming in at 273 reps in 10th place. Congratulations, Hunter.
I did just generate randomly number 10.
So fucking course you did.
I'll send you an email with my
right, yeah, you sent me an email.
Information.
Give me the shirts back I put in your office yesterday. I'm gonna need another one. That's another
5.
Paulo Frita. Oh, this is good. This is really good. So this is someone who has requested a way for us to send gear to, I believe, Croatia, and they're not that nice about customs. So we're going to put as much shit in there as we can and say that it's worth nothing. And at the very least, you only have to pay whatever they make you pay once it gets there. It will be free otherwise. I'll pay for the shipping, the clothing, whatever. I'm glad that happened. So coach@misfitathletics.com, your address, any tips on subverting the government, and your sizes, please. Thank you so much. I also, like I said, I think it would be really cool to do a Misfit affiliate leaderboard. But for this week, we're going to do the artist formerly known as CrossFit MF, the official name of Misfit Gym Portland. Let's go top 10 for Misfit Gym Portland here. Kyle Pinkham, Hunter Wood, Rachel Rogers, Michael Leone, Lizzie Bell Bruno, Luke Ravenel, Nicole Dubois, Nick Whitaker, Ryan Bernache, and Jen Bossy. That is the top 10 at Misfit Gym Portland. Shout out there, and I feel like I just should do another giveaway here for the gang, for the number 8, Nick Whitaker. Nick is an avid sharpentheaxeco.com kind of guy, so giving him some free shit is good. Nick, one person on this podcast is going to remember to give you some free shit.
I will.
Okay. Thanks, Seb.
Whitaker.
All right. Recap time. Hunter, 25.1. Give us what you got. What'd you think of it? Programmer, affiliate coach, athlete. What do you think?
I think it was the right move to make it as widely as accessible as it was. Even had one of our members, Rachel, who was on that leaderboard, say she does like a co-op with some parents, co-op or whatever a homeschool kind of group squad that she's got. And one of the things that she does is coaches a CrossFit class with the kids. And she did a version of this workout for the kids class, which I think is really cool. And I thought to myself, like, oh damn, whether that's intentional or not, but I know Kyle actually has plans to run some form of 25.1 for the after school kids program that we have at the gym.
I dare him to do it for 15 full minutes.
Those kids need it to keep them from fucking
Climbing
losing
the
their
ceiling.
minds. But yeah, I mean, it's a good opening workout. I don't feel like there's a whole lot to say about it. It's about as straightforward as you get.
Yeah. I mean, they do. So we alluded to it last week in the preview podcast. It was going to be 15 minutes long. It's in that neighborhood, in that medium, like, and something that might not be amazing to train. Like if you trained it every day, I would much rather go long and slow or short and fast. But from a testing perspective, knowing yourself, I got videos of high level athletes cooking in those first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just like that. You got to use your athlete IQ in a workout like this, even though on paper it is very simple. Also said that it is a high likelihood of it being a couplet and that it could be a triplet. And both of those things were basically true. This was, I think in hindsight, I think I like the hang clean and jerk better than the dumbbell snatch to get a little bit more of that muscle endurance involved in a workout like this. I thought that was just a wrinkle, something a little bit different. Because like people were putting up the post, tell me what the difference is. And then it says it's the same picture, 24.1 and 25.1, basically the same workout. But I did think the press and getting the dumbbell overhead, and then some of the athletes that I worked with that were really doing the negative, kind of the worm down on the burpee, that became an issue for sure. So I don't know if it was a couple or a triplet.
I kind of felt
lunges.
I felt like it was a little, for most people it was, or I mean, at the affiliate level, it was a lot of burpees for folks, and that's perfectly fine. I feel like even kind of at that, RX affiliate level athlete, it basically is just an upper body sort of throttling that occurred. So, and whether I'm sure there's a reason they didn't want to dumbbell snatch and pull from the floor, whether that's because there's pulling from the floor coming up, we didn't want to duplicate 24.1.
They didn't care last year.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to replicate that so closely to
24.1.
I do think the dumbbell snatch would have probably been a little bit more of would have ratcheted up the metabolic demand versus the muscular component of that hang clean and jerk. I think that like even holding the dumbbell for the lunges had the potential to change the workout's feel quite a bit and make it a little bit more metabolic for like everybody across the board. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just kind of weird when you have a workout where it's like the fittest people are doing like upwards of 200 clean and jerks and burpees. And it's obviously very difficult to write a workout that's going to encapsulate, that's going to be accessible for somebody to run their homeschool kids program through and have the fittest athletes on earth bury themselves. But I think it was a good test in the sense that it was highly accessible. It did force you it was 15 minutes of pretty continuous movement for basically everybody, which is great. And that opens up the possibility for workouts that are going to require a little bit more strategy as far as breaking things up. You got to expect to see, it doesn't even need to be a heavy barbell, a weighted barbell and a skill component that's going to separate some folks. But they definitely, with CrossFit being so far in the doghouse with so many people, it would have been a real fucking kick in the tits to program movements that are not accessible for like, the 99% of the populations. Like you've already isolated a lot of people. Like if you're gonna program something that does that further, you're barking up the wrong tree. So
yeah, I was thinking about it before we started recording, and it's like, I think it's one of those moments where if you told me I had to argue that it was a feature or a bug, I could probably run back and forth from podiums to be like, because it's kind of too many reps. There's a lot of fucking reps. It's like, is that necessary? But then there's a part of me and this is like, I don't get to do RX open workouts very often because if there's a high rep hinging that's weighted or squatting, I'm going to fuck my back up like royally. So I got to do it, and I told you guys in a meeting yesterday, like biking and doing strict press, it's not fucking CrossFit. Like my pulling muscles are wrecked. My bicep, my forearm, literally just from bringing the dumbbell back down from overhead. And I took a 15-point hit to my HRV. And if you are able to go in and do that many reps under intensity and then carry on, it's kind of this like incredible way of saying like this training is the way that you this guy thinks he didn't do me dirty in this photo here. If you're watching on YouTube, like it's an accurate representation of what was happening.
Spread Eagle judge in the background.
All right.
And Nick Witt, winner of the
I have to
look
Nick
at my
Whitaker.
face, Seb.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like this is the part, like this picture isn't taking on your first rep. This is like when you're past rep like 150.
Get you back in the L1.
I just think like if anyone looks dirty, is Hunter, who's biting his lips staring at you do this workout.
Yeah, he looks hungry. I'm not gonna lie.
Look at that fucking meat locker back there. You didn't see it? That's why Drew's muting his hip so bad. He's hiding it. He's hiding it from Daddy.
I have never muted my hip in a single movement in my life.
You've never used your hip in a single movement.
That is accurate. That is very true. So yeah, I mean, I again bury myself on a C2 bike 2 to 4 times a week. I lift a lot, Project Lollipops, seeing if I can get myself up to 225 pounds on the old shoulder press. And that puts you in good general shape doing those things, going back and forth. It's not couplets and triplets performed at high intensity. It just isn't. And I like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like in a perfect world, I would be an affiliate. I would probably be the kind of person that'd be in an affiliate class like 3 or 4 days a week. And then because I like to be the mad scientist, do my own thing on the other days. But like, too many sports, too many car accidents, too many concussions, too many, all these different things make it more challenging for me to go do that. And I love that kind of reminder of like, yeah, you still do mixed modality. You jump into class when it's appropriate, but maybe you're not doing CrossFit. So that was a nice little reminder there. Heart rate, essentially my Garmin looked like a red brick. Just 178. It's just a straight line. I think if I had a chest strap on, it would have been even more ridiculous. You get a lot of upper body movement with the watch on the wrist, so it's jagged. And honestly, I was probably giving it somewhere between 80 and 90%, making sure I didn't hurt myself. So for that to be the outcome, nice little nod to the old fucking constantly varied functional movements performed at high intensity.
One thing I will give CrossFit credit for in this workout specifically is just like the super small things they changed about the judging like requirements, like the dumbbell clean and jerk. Like you can clean and jerk the dumbbell on your first rep versus like the weird establish the hang and then start your clean and jerk. And it's like, I understand like, hey, this is what a hang clean and jerk is. You establish the hang. This is what a hang power clean is. It's not a power clean off the floor with a barbell. Like that's obvious. But when it's like an open workout like this, when they're saying like, as long as everybody's playing by the same rules, like I don't give a fuck if you clean and jerk the first rep. It doesn't confer an advantage to anybody. It's just like, here's the rule. I think it's just super little stuff like that. They finally figured out after fucking 17 years of the burpee of like your both feet have to be off the ground at the same height, at the same altitude, at the same time for the same amount of time. And they both have to touch the ground simultaneously. Like, and it's like, just don't step over the dumbbell, do it mostly good. And again, like if everybody's playing by the same kind of once you start to like really try to specify the judging requirement that is being asked of volunteer judges and affiliate athletes who can barely count to 3 on their own to begin with. Like we're making this a lot harder than it has to be. And simple workout, but like I'm hopeful that they like future movements that they do in the open, they really simplify as far as like, yep, clean and jerk the first rep, who gives a shit? And if you break it up, well, now there's a longer range of motion that you have to take the dumbbell. It's like there's no advantage to it. And instead of yelling at the affiliate athletes like, establish the hang first, it's like, no, it doesn't, that doesn't matter. So like super little things like that, I think it also just makes it a lot fucking easier for coaches to like brief standards to athletes. I also liked how they included in the standards packet, like, these are common no reps. It's like, as opposed to like, do this, do that, do that. It's like, everybody has seen athletes move for long enough that there are a lot of general, like, yeah, this is a common thing when athletes, it's a hang, clean, and jerk. Got it. Yanks it off the floor in the first rep. It's like, you stupid motherfucker. It's like, okay, right. I guess we're gonna play it down to the lowest common denominator. But I think it just makes it easier for everybody, including the people trying to run like the classes, and then you can get a little more in depth with the judging and the movement standards and stuff, which is needed at the higher levels of competition.
Yeah, for sure. It's like the stark contrast of like, I was gonna yell, bring back the V up with the imaginary line that you had to cross.
Right. Yeah.
like we can accomplish what we're trying to accomplish without doing this to these workouts, right? Like, and then I don't know. How do you feel about so I doubt you've looked into this, but basically the way that they're doing it this year is if you are in an affiliate and you get judged, then your like spot on the leaderboard is fine. They're giving prizes out, so they're telling high level athletes like, hey, if you think you've got a shot at top 3 in the open or top 3 in a workout, then film your video or film your workout and submit a video. It's just interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about the like, you don't need a video anymore kind of side of it. I will say that I really just don't believe that there are that many people out there that are left like those old school, like the early days of CrossFit where there'd be that one person at regionals and it's like what you said you did and the person who said you did that, there's no fucking way that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's
pros and cons.
There will always be that person who tries to figure out a way around the rules, whether it's I'm going to loop my video for 8 perfect rounds of thrusters and double unders, or like how in God's name did you make it to this stage? I think it's like if you're bullshitting your way up the leaderboard, I think I don't know. I think the competition takes care of itself.
Yeah.
Like in that regard, I don't think there are enough people that are attempting to achieve like look, I was 800th in the open on the leaderboards. Like, yay, right. Like you did it. Like,
right.
And if you're going to move on, like it's like, okay, congratulations. You earned the right to pay CrossFit some more money to do the in-affiliate semifinals where you do have to have a judge and like you do have to meet the standards a little bit more rigorously. And then there are other standards are required of your affiliate as far as a judge and a head judge and all that sort of shit goes. And it's like, I think there are enough layers that protect the integrity of the upper limit of the competition, which and the upper end athletes who are so few that it's like I don't know, it would be very strange to me to see like a entirely completely unqualified person step foot onto in wherever the fuck the games are, Albany this year.
Yeah.
Right. Making it through the semifinals process and stuff like that. CrossFit needs to do everything they can to keep people interested, and by like, you know,
making it a little bit easier, more accessible.
Making it a little bit easier, like makes that happen. And then like at the highest level of competition, which applies to just such a small fraction of the population, it's like, okay, we'll be hard asses on those people. But just gotta hope that people are doing the right thing for the most part. And there's just no like it's either ego or pride. There's no tangible thing that somebody is fighting for. And if you want to get prizes for being top 3 in a workout or something, then yeah, that makes sense that you have to prove the fact that you actually did something. But I don't even think that like workout, I didn't have to validate any scores. They automatically validate. Like I went into the back end of the affiliate profile, and it's like there are no scores that are like unvalidated, and I haven't done anything in that regard, so I'm not sure.
Weird.
Yeah, very strange.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
How would you categorize this workout? This is cardio?
Cardio.
Yeah. So it's weird. Like, I feel like we're not going to get our merry-go-round.
I think that was the merry-go-round.
Right. Yeah. In a way, it's just a little bit shorter than it normally is.
Yeah. I think you'll see a better merry-go-round in the online semifinals, but I think that's what you got. I mean, it could be like 15 minutes.
How long was 24.1?
7.5, 8 minutes for the best.
Right. So it was much more appropriate for then it to be the 20-minute AMRAP afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I'm not entirely sure what direction we're headed now, because you kind of assume we're gonna really get into the gas tank work in 25.3. That's typically we save your long range of motion dynamic type movements, and could potentially be a redo, although I don't love our options for the redo. I do still think that it's possible for the double under wall walk workout to come back this week. I'm not sold on it based on their just
the for time, the first one.
Yeah. I'm not sold on.
I don't think you're gonna get two predominantly body weight workouts back to
exactly.
back. You're gonna see some sort of loading in this, and it's probably not going to be a dumbbell again. So
right. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting. We've obviously got our deadlift left. You could say that we have our power snatch. We'll see. Obviously, that's an adjacent movement. You've got your thruster. There's always more iterations of dumbbell work that can be put in. Sometimes considered more accessible, but that can also be not true when it's such a pain in the ass to deal with at the affiliate level. That sort of thing. Yeah, if it's a long workout, which hopefully we're beyond that. If it's a long workout with the dumbbells, that can be a little bit more challenging to deal with. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think that there's like a clear path into what 25.2 is going to be. We've got our pulling gymnastics and rowing.
Today's I could see something like that. Today's cap and just CrossFit.com workout is 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3 deadlift wall walk. Light deadlifts and with 2 wall walks after each set. So be very surprised to see a cap workout on Tuesday be replicated on Thursday. So
I don't ever see cap, but I do have to give a shout out to the .com workouts. Have been pretty fucking good lately. There have been some bangers in there. Yeah, there have been some stretches of some, no offense to whoever wrote it, but questionable programming.
I'll offend every single guest programmer who ever fucking wrote a week of .com programming.
But it's been good. I don't know if you pay attention to that.
I open that email every day. I like seeing what they got.
They've had some good ones. Real simple, kind of nasty couplets, triplets. Not overthinking it, but also not like completely vanilla. I call it a swirl. Yeah. Well,
I see a squat. I see a squat of some capacity. Maybe it could also be like you might maybe get your lift, but I don't know, with only 2 left and and one of them being a retest, like that sounds cliche, but I gotta imagine there's gonna be a thruster in the 3rd week or something like that. So if it's a squat this week, maybe it's a finish with a 1 rep max or something like that. But
what was
this is good at mind.
It's a dumbbell thruster toe bar. What year was that one? That
19, I think.
Absurd merry-go-round. It was like in 1 rep of everything.
Yeah, it was 4, 6, 24.
I felt like there was too I'm still looking for the gray area, but like the thruster in a lot of instances, especially for an affiliate athlete, has been like a little overreaching. I like the idea of using tools like that in a repeatable set, kind of like the 15 reps of 75-pound power snatch. Like, can we get like, you know, a 12 to 15 rep thruster or, you know, depending on the weight, what it is, you know, it could be 75, 55, or you could go a little bit lower. Like things like that, you really have to figure out what your pacing looks like.
Yeah.
Because the tool is used more to drive the metabolic side of things than it is to see if you've got the muscle endurance to continue to do it. All right. So during these podcasts, I intentionally did not do live chat at the beginning. We get a lot of new listeners, but we have 7 fans that love our live chat
Total?
that talk to me about it in the gym and send me DMs about it and all that good stuff. So we're going to put live chat at the end here. I'm going to put you gentlemen on the spot. What do we got for live chat, boys? What's going on?
I still got fucking jabronis cross-country skiing out here on the first and second fairway of Riverside Golf Course, despite golf season rapidly approaching. Nobody appears to be clearing off the snow from these fairways, which is frustrating. So maybe I'll send a email to Janet Mills, but that's the least
Hit
of
up
her
your
problems.
congresswoman.
Yeah, hit up your congresswoman. Make sure we get those fairways cleared for golf season. But yeah, I mean, I'm just very, very close to pulling the trigger on a driving iron. I told you about this. I'm really trying to figure out exactly which one I need, but
get that old school. Have you seen the video, the John Daly video, where they made him the 1 iron, or is it 0? It's either a 0 or a 1.
Yeah, probably a 0 or a 1. No, I haven't.
They like literally made this club specifically for him. Just brought this like a mallet out onto the golf course and could hit it dead center, like 300 plus, like just right down the fucking middle. And I think he brought it to one of the places over in Scotland that was like crazy windy.
Yeah.
And he was worried about fucking putting that boomer John Daly up into the fucking stratosphere, and who knows what's going to happen with the wind up there. But like, it was a big deal when it happened because all the other people were like, what the fuck is that thing? Like flat face, like, so I'm a proponent. I don't actually golf. But back in the day when I was trying to make the freshman golf team at Scarborough High School, I was a driving iron guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there is something to be said, from an ego perspective about strutting up onto a tee box with a fucking driving iron. Like some of the reviews on TaylorMade, it's like, I am the alpha. It's like, it's really hard to say no to just a driving iron that you may not be able to hit, but it looks really fucking good. So I'm on the fence.
When you outdrive someone with an iron, it's nice. I can tell you.
Yeah,
it
is a nice feeling. Yeah.
It's a nice driver there, huh?
Yeah, on the fence about something a little bit chunkier, but might suit my actual what I want to use it for, or maybe something a little bit sleeker. So, yeah, I'll keep the people updated. I know you guys are really concerned about my what's in the bag.
There are 7 people that want to know, Hunter. You
there
gotta
are
keep them going.
no fewer than 7 people who can't wait for me to stop talking about golf.
True. Yeah. You got both. We got to give the people what they need.
Yeah, give the people what they need, not necessarily what they want.
Eb, what's good?
Sorry, I was trying to find that YouTube video, but it says it was back in '96, and I'm having a hard time finding it. There's just a whole bunch of YouTube videos, like people trying to remake, like.
Were either of you alive in '96?
One?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the John Daly one. I was alive. I was 5. Live chat. Yeah, my abysmal performance in the 25.1 workout. Given I don't do any cardio and I probably haven't done a workout like that since last year at 24.1. But I had Mexican food around like 4:30, and I went in and did the workout. Like, I think it was like an hour after, and halfway through.
Did you warm up, Seb?
Yeah, I was actually, yeah, I did. Drew was
Okay,
there.
because I was coaching
He
a
sort of
class.
warmed up.
I was coaching the Thursday class, and it took literally one like somewhat offhand comment by Sid to suggest it was like you gonna do this workout, and Seb was like, all right, fine. He
I don't think you heard the
zero warm up, grabbed an
word
empty
that
barbell and got after it. I was like, did you not warm up for 25.1?
toast to bar were good though. Can we at least give me that?
Have you done a beginner's class? Have you ever
No.
taken an on-ramp
No.
class?
No. I nilly
He
willied
knew
it out
the answer
there.
to that question. There was
Yeah,
he
I
was
know. It's
I
inferring
didn't.
something.
Honestly, I didn't. Because the first time you came in and worked out, it was like, okay, like we got some movement that we can improve on, but it wasn't. It was on the beginner end of the spectrum. And then after, to be honest, watching you do your bent arm toes to bar, I was like, I don't
Say what?
Torn labrum,
Yeah, Seb,
baby.
so I
can't
I
straighten
do.
it out. You guys know
Yeah,
that.
so that's what led me to wonder. We gotta bring you back up here and take you through an
know.
on-ramp class to get you
I know.
moving good, guy.
You guys didn't hear though. Sid used like a word to get me to do that workout that I will not repeat on this podcast, but
Was it pussy?
she did. She's like, "You're being a big one." And I was
Okay.
like, "Oh," I was like, "All right." But yes, no, torn labrum, very limited
Can I
mobility
get
and a lot of that
clip,
stuff.
Seb, just Hunter saying those 3 words?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna need that clipped.
All right, yeah. Don't tear the labrum, but
No, dude, it's torn. I just work around it. So I just do bent arm toast to bar.
You're gonna tear it again if you don't bend your arm, or if you
Yeah.
don't straighten your arm. I'm just gonna throw
I'm
that
gonna-
out there.
Hey,
You're not helping
listen,
the situation.
Listen, I'm just being honest. I never claimed to be an athlete. You guys know that. I was just trying to do my best out there.
There is a test group going on currently. We are on day 2 of the new Misfit GPP program test group. Seb, I believe you have access to both the spreadsheet and the program on Fitter. I'm just saying, just throwing it out there.
Hey, I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I'm
Hell
gonna
yeah.
I'm gonna get better, one day at a time. I gotta work on my mobility.
that was
That's
not a
big-
dig at you, Seb. That was actually
no.
a genuine question.
No, for sure, not at all. I mean, listen, it's the truth. We gotta. I can handle the truth.
All right. So I don't remember how many podcasts ago we did the tips on the remote coaching. You guys remember tips and tricks? And I talked about what I've been doing on the bike in terms of like chopping the gears up. So I have been dreading. So I basically go in a rotation of aerobic, build, power output, just fucking on repeat, bunch of zone 2 sessions in between when my HRV goes down. So I've been putting in a lot of meters on the bike, and I've been dreading a power output session on the C2 bike. I hate it. If I truly, so this was what I would call P2. So they're 20-second sprints. If I send it, then I can't walk. I can't bike again. I can't do fucking anything. It's horrendous. And I am probably 30 sessions in on the bike in the last like month and a half, 2 months, something like that. So pretty decent amount of time. And again, dreading it. So when I do power output work, I have to go negative splits, which seems weird, right? Like typically you fucking let her rip and see what happens. The like changes in terms of musculature and metabolic, like absolutely night and day just from month and a half. And the funny thing is, you think about, I'm doing zone 2, which actually for me in a lot of instances is zone 1. And I'm not letting myself, so I'm doing negative splits on my aerobic work. So I'm kind of zone 3, zone 4 a lot in there. So I'm essentially going slower than I normally would in almost all of these workouts. And it's made the biggest change in my power output work that I've like ever seen. It's basically just like a repeatability thing. And these numbers aren't crazy because I like underestimated myself, but I went 121, 120, 118, 114 for my splits. And Like, honestly, the first 3 rounds were like easy. Like, I considered adding rounds to it. And I was doing every 4 minutes. So it was 20 seconds on, 340 off. The 340 off, I stay on the bike at a 1 damper and kind of pedal. So if you are a power athlete and you struggle with the repeatability because you can go bury yourself, the answer isn't, I need more back squats, I need more power output work, I need to be able to continue to drive my max wattage up. It is, I need to be able to clear waste and be more efficient in my muscles, in my heart, delivering oxygen, delivering blood, all of that stuff. And these are things that we always know theoretically as coaches, programmers, athletes, all of that good stuff. But when it happens in real time, because when you are in the athlete mind, you have your biases that you bring to the table within all of this stuff. I had like an Instagram post queued up where I was going to do the Michael Scott no about Toby, and I couldn't. Once I was done, I couldn't put it up because it wasn't really that fucking bad. Yeah, it was going to be fake if I did it. Normally, I go down into the basement and start ripping on that bad boy, and my day is ruined. So the next time I do a P1, P2, or P3 session, I will send it from the beginning, and I will revert back to complaining, and we'll find our happy medium. But I was pretty stoked to be able to like 114, 96 RPMs at a 8 or 9 damper, 114 average for 20 seconds. Like, I just fucking walked away. So yeah, I was pretty happy about that. And it's weird for someone who considers themselves a power athlete to be excited about power output work. But come on over to the gym on bike sprint day and I'll wreck you in round 1, and then I'll lose to every person under the sun in round 4. So yeah. All right, gents, that's all I got. We got anything to wrap this up? You guys good to go?
No, I think
ready for 25.2?
Ready for 25.2. Affiliate programming this week's kicking me in the tits. It's a tough one. Yesterday and today.
Yeah.
You like that,
Seb likes it.
You like that? That's the second time I said it. He contained himself the first time. He couldn't do it the second time.
Catch me off guard every time.
Did we do it?
We did it.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of the Misfit Podcast. All of the programming that we talked about on this episode can be found through the link in bio on Instagram. So head to Misfit Athletics on Instagram. You can get a 1-week free trial in Fitter for our competition programming. You can get a 2-week free trial in StreamFit, SugarWOD, and Push Press for Misfit Affiliate. Make sure you go to your competition dashboard and add Misfit Athlete if you're a competitor, Misfit Affiliate if you are at a Misfit Affiliate gym, so we can sort of expand those leaderboards, give away some more shit, do some more shoutouts next week. We will see you guys in a few days for 25.2 videos and all that good stuff, and then a week from today to recap everything.
Nope. Later.